I did get Ranger Suarez, and he had some
Yes.
comments on MLB.com. I guess he was asked about a possible extension here with the Phillies, and this warmed my soul a little bit, Renee. He wants to be here. Here's the quote from Ranger.
Really for you, Jamie.
I've always been a Philly. I would like to remain a Philly, but the goal is to stay in the big leagues for as long as possible. Of course, I would like an extension, but when you get to that topic, that's not for me to handle. That's for my agents. What a perfect quote.
You're so in love.
I think
Listen.
all he needed to do to make it perfect for Jamie was like, and I watch PHLY every day.
Yeah, and I get all my Phillies news from PHLY Phillies on YouTube.
I mean-
but Ranger, look, this is a huge year for him. We'll talk about his stats in spring because he pitched yesterday. I mean, the dude's perfect.
He's perfect.
Yeah.
Sure. Listen, we like Ranger. He's as you always say, adorable.
He's the best. Good vibes, good results. Pitches his best when it matters the most. How do you not love this guy?
I know. And I think he's perfect for us to highlight today because
He's perfect in every way.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like Factor, right, Renee?
Like what?
Like Factor.
Yeah.
Factor meal kits.
Yeah. That would have been a great segue. If I
The
was doing
two
that
of you
read.
trying to prompt each other into
I didn't
reads
get that read.
is one of the things that I
She's
will
on
never
planet,
understand.
Wait,
I don't know what-
I already did the. What are you talking about?
We're talking about Ranger and spring training.
I don't know.
And
I felt
our
like he was trying to prompt the read. Now you did Factor. I don't know what's happening right now, but yes, Jamie loves Ranger
clearly
a
because,
lot.
because today's spring training takeaway is brought to you by Factor Meal Kits. Today's
Thank you.
takeaways are presented by Factor. Use code Phillies50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and free wellness shots for life with any active subscription. Go to factormeals.com/Phillies50. Ranger did pitch yesterday. He did say he wants to be a Philly for life. And this dude is having a spring. Another scoreless performance yesterday. And Ranger so far this spring, remember, we didn't get Ranger last spring.
Correct.
World Baseball Classic injury and all that. So if Ranger can give you, 100 and let's say 60, 65 innings this year and back it up with the numbers he's shown you and stay injury free, this is a huge year for him and he's going to make himself some money. Here's his numbers in spring training thus far. 15 innings pitched, only 5 hits allowed, 0 earned runs, only 4 walks, 16 strikeouts, a 0 ERA, a .60 whip, and his opponents are being held to a 102 average. You know the rules with spring training, folks. If they struggle, it means nothing. If they're great, go bet Ranger Suarez to win Cy Young right now at Bet Parks. With us next Thursday, maybe you can get that in. But the dude's had a literal perfect spring training.
Yeah, and listen, he mentioned in his last outing prior to yesterday's game, he gave up 4 walks. And he was like, so he wanted to make sure this time to attack the hitters, and that's what happened. And as you mentioned, those numbers are remarkable. But against Detroit, to have 1 single, strikeout 4 in 5 innings, and continue to have the remarkable numbers as you talk about 4 walks, 16 strikeouts, 0 runs allowed. It's Ranger time. And also, he's been definitely pitching with a lot of confidence, he mentioned after the game. And he was saying, if you've got that confidence, it's going to work. And that worked for him. And for Rob Thompson, he talked about how Ranger's been having just the command. Of course, he's healthy, which is the most important thing, as you talk about. We didn't get a healthy Ranger last year.
Look at him. Look
you know
at
what?
him.
I love how you placed him over Jamie.
Oh, that was done intentionally.
Thank you. Let's get Jamie out
I
of
wish
here.
if I bring this smile to the PHLY offices daily that man
Can you
brings,
do that Ranger thing
that man brings to the Phillies dugout every day.
You look just like smiling and hat on and hanging with friends.
They say Garrett Stubbs is the vibes officer. I don't buy it. I think Ranger's setting the vibes in there. He's so smiley.
So Rob was saying how one, of course, is the fact that he's healthy. I'm going to add in there the smiles. He didn't mention it, but I'm sure that's what Rob was insinuating is also important.
Clearly.
He's bringing the smiles and the good vibes, clearly, Jamie. And also that his command's just been very outstanding and that he's had all his pitches going right. His breaking ball's been good. He's been, doing a lot. His 2-seam fastball has been steady with the great command. So we're seeing a healthy Ranger Suarez, which is why, as we are getting closer and closer to opening day, it's exciting that we're getting, without the World Baseball Classic, without, knock on wood, any major injuries, a healthier Phillies squad going into the season. So although there might be the question of who gets to start, is Yoro going to be on the roster or not? At the end of the day, you have a healthy Ranger Suarez, healthy Bryce Harper, health, the health is
Well,
there.
We think
I mean,
healthy Bryce Harper.
I'm manifesting that he's healthy,
all right,
guys.
Positive thoughts.
I'm gonna put all that positive.
He's gonna have to
there.
manage this the rest of his career. It's fine. It is
It's
what
also
it is.
part of just like getting older. Like you just have to.
Bryce, the 30s
It's
and
rough.
into your 40s.
It's rough.
It's I picked up my youngest yesterday, put her in the car, and my back just seized up. And it's not fun getting old. So Bryce, you're gonna have to manage that. But yes, it is an encouraging spring. I think this is the most exciting spring in a long time because it's been weird. Bryce was hurt last year. Reese goes down. You had the World Baseball Classic excitement. The year prior was still like weird COVID times.
Exactly. That's the other thing. This is the first normal spring training that
and
you've
everybody's
had.
healthy.
Bingo. So for that reason alone, I'm optimistic heading into opening day that this is going to be the year that they do not have a slow start. They do not put themselves in a hole that caused them to be chasing the Braves. But instead, the Phillies are going to be ready to go in 8 days. Hit the ground running. Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, Ranger Suarez. Hit the ground running. Bing, bang, boom.